I still hear the drums. They don't stop. Sometimes they come in the middle of the night when I'm half asleep. Sometimes they start just when I think I'm at peace. They come like thunder inside my chest. And I know they're not dreams. They are real. They are calling me. I was warned not to speak of what happened. But I've carried it long enough. I have to let it out. If they come, then so be it. It all started when I failed jam for the second time. My parents didn't even shout that much. I think they were just tired. Disappointed in that quiet way that cuts deeper than shouting or scolding. Couldn't take it. I couldn't face their look of disappointment. I felt ashamed of myself for failing again. I told them I wanted to go and stay with Uncle Cola for a while. Not for anything, but to avoid their stares of disappointment. Uncle Cola lived in a small farming village right on the edge of a thick forest that people in the area called the Forest of the Almighty. Some said it was sacred. Some said it was cursed. But the majority of the people just stayed away, avoiding it completely. Uncle Cola didn't care about superstitions. He kept bees, goats, and some rabbits. Small farmland. I arrived there with a small bag hanging on my back, and my shame. He welcomed me warmly like nothing was wrong. He was the type of man who spoke little and worked hard and a lot. I started helping him on his farm and became accustomed to it. After the first few days of helping him on the farm, I started to feel better. The anger and shame I felt about myself were gone. There was something peaceful about waking up early, hearing birds, fetching water, and cutting firewood. There was no noise, no lectures about not doing something right or wrong. No pressure of any sort. Then one morning, Uncle Cola called me and he gave me a job. He said, giving me a basket, "Take this basket and check the bee traps inside the forest. There are 4. I've shown you the path. Go early and return early. And listen to me very well. Do not leave the path. Don't follow anything. Don't stop for anything. Don't speak to anyone. Go and come back straight home." He looked me dead in the eye when he said it. And I nodded. But I didn't listen. I followed the paths he had shown me and went straight to the bee traps. The first 3 traps were easy to find. I collected honey from only 2 traps. The 4th one was missing. I looked around to be sure I wasn't mistaken, but still I couldn't find it. And that's when I saw the bird. It was red and white in color. Not bright red, but deep blood red with a white head and long thin legs. Its eyes were yellow. It made no sound, it just stared at me. Then it walked away slowly, deeper into the trees. I stood, watching it as it walked away. Something in me said, "Go back." But something else, something stronger said, "Follow it." I couldn't resist the urge, it was as if it was calling out to me. And then I followed it. The trees got thicker the moment I started following them. I started seeing plants I didn't recognize. The air felt heavy like it had weight. I walked for what felt like 20 minutes, and then I saw the village. It wasn't big. Maybe 15-20 huts. But everything looked too clean and spotless. Like nobody ever got dirty there. Like time didn't pass there. It was so beautiful I couldn't stop admiring it. I walked around the small village, admiring the environment, looking at the beautiful huts. I didn't see anyone at first. And then a small girl appeared in front of me. She couldn't be more than 6. She wore white clothes and had chalk drawings on her arms. She froze the moment she saw me. And then she screamed out loud. And the village woke up. Beautiful women poured out of the huts. Some were young, some old, but no boys. No men. Not even male animals. They all stared at me like I was an alien. One woman ran to me and grabbed my wrist. "Who are you?" she asked, eyes wide. "I'm lost," I said. "I was following a bird and I found myself here." She stepped back and started muttering something I didn't understand. The others joined her, and they all muttered. Sounded more like chanting. More women came out. One of them, taller than the rest, said, "He passed the veil." The others gasped. Disbelief was visible on their faces. "Please, I missed my way while following the bird. I just need to go back." "I'm not trying to cause any trouble," said. Another woman replied, "You cannot go back." "Not now. The forest brought you to us. And it has its reasons for that. I was unwilling, but they took me in. They were not rude to me. And definitely not kind either. But like someone picking up a dangerous object with care. They led me to a small hut. It had no door, just a curtain made from cowrie shells. Inside there was a mat, a wooden stool, and a carved bowl with something like ashes in it. The smell inside was strong, burnt herbs and something sour. They gave me water. Thick, dark water that tasted like roots. I spat it out immediately after tasting it. One of the women slapped me hard and said, "Don't you ever disrespect our offering again." And then I realized I was not in control. Days passed. Or maybe weeks. I couldn't tell. They gave me food. Yam cooked in leaves, palm wine, and that tasted like nothing I've had before. Strange fruits I had never seen. I slept on the mat every night. And every night I dreamed. I dreamed of women dancing under the moon. Women with no faces. Women with animal feet. I heard singing that made my ears bleed. Saw Cuddy. She was about my age. Dark skin, quiet voice. Her face was soft, but her eyes held deep sadness like an old woman. She brought me food one day and sat beside me after dropping it. "You shouldn't be here," she said. I nodded. "I know. Please help me, I need to leave here, I need to leave this place." She looked away. "It's not that simple," she said. "The forest brought you here. You must give it something before it lets you go. Give it something." I asked her what could that be. She didn't answer. She just stood up and left without looking back. More days passed. I was still held captive there. I wasn't allowed to go near the edge of the village. There were guards, older women with black cloths tied around their heads. They carried wooden staffs. I tried to run away once. But they caught me before I took 5 steps into the trees. They didn't beat me. They sat me down. And they started singing. It wasn't a happy song. It was low and slow. My head started to spin. I couldn't move. Cried like a child. I saw my mother's face in the leaves. After that experience I stopped trying to escape. Then one night I heard drums. Cuddy came in and told me to follow her. She gave me white clothes to wear. Asked her why. She didn't answer. After wearing the clothes, I followed her and we went to the center of the village. There was a fire, it was huge and tall. All the women in the village were there. They all danced around the fire, chanting. Then the elderly woman came out. Her name was Mother Aya. She was the oldest among them. Her eyes were pure white. And she walked with a staff made of something that looked like bone. When she spoke, everyone went quiet. "The forest has accepted you," she said. "But it is not done with you yet. Before it lets you return, you must remember who you are," she said to me again. "I already know that," I replied. She smiled and moved closer to me. "No, you don't." Then she touched my forehead with her hand. I saw things. I saw a lot of things. I saw myself as a child, but not in this world. I was in a river, holding a fish that talked. I saw my mother with wings. I saw my father with a crown of snakes. I saw my name being erased from a book, then written again with blood. I screamed and passed out. When I woke up, I saw myself back in the hut. Cuddy was sitting beside me, crying. "What happened to me? And why are you crying?" I asked, concerned and confused. "You passed the test," she whispered softly. Confused, I asked, "What test are you talking about?" "You remembered," she said again. I couldn't ask further because I was confused and still trying to figure out how I managed to get to survive and still found myself in the hut. That night, I was allowed to leave their village. They led me to the forest's edge. Mother Aya was there. She looked at me one last time and said, "Tell no one of what you saw. If you speak of this place to anyone, it will remember you. And it will return," she warned. Then she clapped her hands. And everything went black. I woke up near the cassava field. The sun was just rising. And my basket was still beside me. I ran back quickly to the house. Uncle Kola was outside. He looked at me, scared like he'd seen a ghost. "Why do you look like that?" You've been gone for just one night. One night. I asked myself silently. I didn't speak. Couldn't. Later that same day, I stood in my room and looked at my chest in the mirror. There was no mark. But I remembered the pain. I tried to forget about everything I saw. I tried to forget about Cuddy. I really did. But still I do hear the drums. And I see the birds sometimes. On rooftops. On electric poles. Watching me. Last month I got a letter with no name on it. Inside was a cowrie. I've moved houses twice within months. I don't sleep near trees anymore. I stopped eating yams from strangers. And I never ever go near the forest again. But I needed to tell someone. Because the dreams are getting even stronger by the day. And I think they're coming back for me. Can feel it. If I disappear, tell my mother and father that I tried. End. Thank you for your time. We hope you enjoyed the story. Please drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from. And please don't forget to subscribe. And I hope to see you in our next story.